Hi, in this section I'll just play a few excerpts from my own pieces just to demonstrate some of the techniques that I use. So starting with a sort of generalisation, what I try and do before I strike a note is have my left hand in position before I hit the note, and the same with the right hand. Obviously this is not always possible, but when I can I try and remember to do that. What helps me particularly with the right hand is if I'm moving from a lower string to a higher string, I'll try to strike the first note with a downstroke and the second note with an upstroke like this. And then conversely, if I start with a higher string and move to a lower string, I start with an upstroke and then the second note I'll play with a downstroke like this. That helps to keep my right hand movement down to a minimum, and also means that I'm travelling in the right direction when I go from one note to the second, instead of my hand being away in the wrong direction. So I'll try and demonstrate that in this little passage. Again, with this little example, I try and anticipate the notes that I'm going to play before I actually play them. So for example, with the patterns, what I try and do is have both fingers fretted before I hit the first note, rather than trying to put the second one down just as I'm about to play it. That kind of cuts down the margin for error a wee bit and should make it a bit easier to play. The same if I make a leap from down to the low A string, I try and get down there and beyond the note on the string before I actually strike it. Hi, in the first half of this passage I use conventional hammer-ons and pull-offs like this. And in the second half what I do is I hammer onto the initial note and pull off quickly onto the second note, so it's this kind of thing. And then I just use the right hand to play the notes in between, like this. So that should make the passage much easier to play, because the left hand is taking care of the faster notes and the right hand only plays the slower notes in between. Hi. As well as hammering onto the initial note, you could also pull off onto it, like this. So you can play ornaments like this. So, for example, in this little passage. You could combine it with a hammer-on and a slide to use the right hand a bit less again. Hi, this is just a short example where I use my right hand sparingly. So if I break this down into 3 sections, the first bit is this. So strike the first note with the right hand and play the next 3 with my left hand only. The next section would be this. So there, what I do is I strike the first note and the last note with the right hand, and the 3 notes in between I play with my left hand only. Now, to get to the first note of the 3, I pull off with my left hand, so it's like that. And then the last section is just this. So again, it's just a few strikes, and the rest of the notes are hammer-ons or pulling offs. So the right hand is used very sparingly. To play this passage, I use use mainly alternate strokes and just a few hammer-ons and pull-offs to smooth things out a wee bit. Hi there. The key to executing this one is when you go down onto the third string and then on the fourth string, what I do is I hammer on the first note and then play the second one quickly. So it's kind of like this. I don't have control of my right hand to be able to play the notes quickly enough when you're playing the same note twice quickly. So I have to come up with a kind of a workaround. Hi, this passage is very similar to the previous one. It's a bit shorter and it's played an octave lower. So I use the same sort of techniques, particularly when I move from the fourth string to the fifth string, where I hammer onto the note and then play the same note again with my right hand. Hi there. The key to executing this little passage is just this little trick here. So it's a hammer on, a pull off and a hammer on, like this. So if you can play that up to speed, you're home and dry. Hi, the way I play this is to hammer down onto when I change strings some of the time, like this. I find I'm able to execute that quite quickly rather than using my right hand. However, sometimes it can be useful to use your left hand for plucking the strings instead of your right hand. So I'll use this as an example. Hi, this is just a slightly easier way of playing the end of the passage in the previous section. So what I do there, instead of plucking the top string, I hammer down onto the third string. In some passages I combine downward sweeps with slurring. So in this case the downward sweep is just this. And then that continues, the last note of the sweep goes into the slurring like this. Hi, this is just another example of a passage where you use a sweep and then slurring. So in this case the slurring is like this. So what I do there is I strike the first note and then pull off a hammer on onto the second note and keep that pattern going until the slurring bit is finished. Hi, I've included this little passage because there's quite a bit of slurring in it, and also when I play the fast triplet I pull off from the second fret to the first fret on the third string and then hammer down onto the third fret and the fourth string. So I don't use my right hand for playing the final note of the triplet. To play this little passage smoothly, again I use quite a few slurs. The one at the end is like this. So I'm hammering down on the second string with my third finger. So I'm using my right hand sparingly.